Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Aisha Sisters Show. I am Honey, joined by Queen Sue and our very special guest, Brother Khent. Okay, you guys, we so excited about this show. Queen Sue, say hello to our beautiful guests.
Hello, everybody. Thank you that we have made it over to a new year, and we're grateful, and we are full of joy to know that going forward is blissful, and we got our main man Kit on the line. I am so happy, you all. I'm
Yeah,
so
but
this is this is a landmark for me.
that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and
Yes,
blessings.
yes. Thank you,
Huh.
thank you. Just, um, we're gonna get started with the show in a few minutes, you guys. But we just had to, man, just welcome Kent. We so excited, you guys. For anybody viewing right now, please take this time to like, share, and subscribe to the Aisha Sisters Podcast on YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share it to your social media. We need the support. We appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we need your support. Before we go any further, we would like to open up with a prayer. Brother Kent, could you please lead us in prayer today?
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Also, blame that shaitan regime. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Rahman Rahim. Maliki Ya Madina. Ya kana Budu wa ya kana Asta'in. Adina Suratul Mustaqim. Suratul Lazina Amta Alayhim. Ghairul Makdubi Alayhim. Waladolin. Amin.
I mean,
Amen.
amen.
Hey, all right. Well, without further ado, Kent, I have a million and one questions. Audience, if you guys have any questions, please chime in. Your support, we appreciate all questions, comments, and everything like that. But I'm finna bombard Kent because, honey, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just happy. You
Yeah, I
know,
know. I was waiting too.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm ready. I'm
I'm,
ready,
I'm
man.
waiting
I
too because
know.
all the sisters supposed to be on right now. And they ain't queued in yet. I'm gonna hit them up while we on the line. It's
That's
crazy.
okay. No, don't hit them up. Look,
No,
we got
I'm gonna hit
company.
them up. Huh? I'm gonna hit them up,
We
but
on
they gonna be on.
we online. We got to do what we got to do. We can't worry about who ain't here. God put who was supposed to be here. Here, let's go. Uh,
What's up,
Yeah.
Miss Teresa?
hey,
Hey,
mom.
Queen.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love, Queen. Peace and
Yeah.
love.
So, brother
Yeah,
Ken.
I'm sure that it's a lot of people, that probably got a lot of questions that because I haven't really just showed my face. I'm very vocal on social media, but I really don't show my face to really be able to voice it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm ready today. I'm
All
ready.
right.
Good. We so glad to have you. So, tell me, Ken. After 23 years, how was it going to bed your first night and waking up the first morning without, with all the lights off and, just being free? How was that?
Um, my first night was so unreal. You know, to explain that, I have to touch base a little bit on just doing the time in general. Because initially I had 30 mandatory years. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so off of the 30, I did the 23, but before then, I had 30 mandatory. So my mind was never really on getting out. So by the time the new law changed and they actually gave me a parole date, it shifted my mind to it's a chance that you might be getting out soon, Kent. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after the first set off, they set me off the first time for a year.
Right.
Okay, when they did that, I put in my mind like I ain't finna keep on putting my hopes up for a whole bunch of setbacks, and you know what I'm saying. So the second time came, they set me off again. So And then they set me off for something that I kind of knew they was gonna bring up, but they didn't bring it up the first time.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, they could just bring up whatever the hell they want whenever they want to bring it up and just keep me up in here. So that second set off, it kind of put me in a mind frame that, man, I go home, I just go home. I ain't even finna trip. So the whole time, that whole year right there, I kind of knew that I might make it this time, but it really didn't set in my mind. So when I finally made the parole, it put me in I was going through anxiety attacks because my whole thing was, I don't want to fail. Right. That was my biggest thing. Right. So when I finally did make it, I still don't believe it hit me, sis. Right. You know what I'm saying? I still don't believe that it hit me like, bro, you out now. You ain't gotta, ain't no more going back to the dining hall. Ain't no more commissary day. Ain't no more shakedown, K9 on the walk. Ain't no more none of that. So it kind of, I don't believe it hit me yet. But that particular night, that first night showed me that I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna try to be as mature about it as I can. It showed me that I had to work out. It put me in a mind frame that I got to get on my, because I just had, y'all know what I'm saying. I had to work.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like once you able to sleep, like, because you know how I ain't never did that kind of time, but I done been to jail before, so
right.
It seemed like always like that first night out, like how you go, you go get you something to eat, and everybody happy to see you, and you happy to see everybody. But for me, like that it took me a while. Like I was still sleeping with like a nightlight on and stuff because I was so used to it never being all the way dark in the cell. You know what I mean? It was like a lot of different things that I did when I first got out that I wouldn't really necessarily, have been doing before that. You know what I mean?
Me personally, I was trying to break myself from a lot of things that I felt was institutionalized. I was trying to break myself from that before I came home.
Okay.
Because one of the messages that I always tell brothers is your transition don't start when you get there. It starts before you get there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's many things like my lady, my queen Brooke, she was very I ain't gonna say shell shocked, but she was like, word, man, if I touch him, I wonder if he turn around and just try to hit me or different things of that nature there. And now I just slept like a normal person, you know what I'm saying? I laid, one thing that my anxiety was up from my first day, we went to the casino, and that was the first time that I was around people just going
like that. Yeah.
And I'm talking about it was too much for me. I told baby, like, baby, let's step outside. This is a little bit too much for me, because it was just too much going. They was too close. They didn't know how to say excuse me. They'll be walking in front of you. They see it's 100 people coming and going, and instead of stepping to the side, they'll stop right there, knowing you right behind them. And these are levels of respect that, for me coming from prison, respect is something that, gets you punched in the face real quick. So so it was really ticking me off. It was kind of bothering me that, like, man, these people, this disrespectful out here, like, man, they see me walking right behind them. Won't they say excuse me or something? So I just told baby, let's go outside. Because this is moving too fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But beside that, I haven't had any type of problems socially dealing with nobody or anything of that nature there. You know, I just been living, you know, and trying to just keep in mind that I'm not in prison no more. But like I said, you know, I started working on that transition a couple years ago. You know? Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of it has to do with your mindset and your mind change. So you
Right.
have to, redirect a lot of your energy and put it positively to what you're looking forward to coming home.
Right.
You
Right.
start putting that in plan.
Right. Right. And I'm gonna tell you something else. That I kind of, you know, in prison, the women are kind of guarded. So what I mean by guarded is like you can't get too close to women. You know what I'm saying? In prison, if a woman steps up, walks up, you should automatically know to kind of get back, you know,
Mm-hmm.
let her come through. It's different things like that. Whereas now that I'm out here in the world, you know, I ain't just no ugly dude. So women will just be walking up. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be kind of stepping back. And but it's just a thing that I'm from doing so much time, I've kind of focused on kind of doing right and little things like that. That's a form of institutionalization. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Because out here in the world, you could deal with people. You could actually walk up and hug a woman, kiss a woman, touch a woman. In prison, you can't get too close to the woman. You know what I'm saying? And I've grown used to that. I've grown used to if a woman stepping up, you know, I'm finna step back and let her walk on by or something of that nature there, you know what I'm saying? And it's different now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Besides that though, I ain't just had too much, you know, withdrawals or nothing. I'm making I'm making it. I'm making it. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Sisters, y'all have any questions? Queen, you muted. If you talking.
Yeah, I say, you're gonna make it. I say because you're a survivor. You survived the 23 years of incarceration, and you kept your head on straight. You sent out ideas because without your ideas, we wouldn't be having this podcast today. You know what I'm saying? It would be down the line, but you know, you enforced that on us. You know what I'm saying, and shared it with us so that we could grow. And that's why I wanted to make sure that all of the ICE, this is not all the ICE sisters, but these are the ones that be participating a whole lot, you know, and we have a whole lot more, you know. I don't know what everything everybody had to do, but I just wanted them to all come in as a whole to celebrate you because you're someone to be celebrated far as the ICE sisters are concerned. And we have many more questions because, you know, we're going to be entwining with you and collaborating with you because this is our year. And we thank you that they have sent a king home. You know what I'm saying? For queens to
Yes.
look up to and, you know, follow and prosper and, you know, do good by the community and stuff like that. So I am super excited about you being home. And I pray safety over you as you travel to and from seen and unseen dangers on a daily basis. And I pray that, you know, God keep, you know, your mindset right because it's really a war out here.
Yes.
It is.
Every next that it is, you know, like that, you know. So we're gonna keep on lifting you up and praying for you that everything falls, you know, in alignment with God in your life. You know, my favorite scripture that was brought to me was from Jeremiah 29:11. You know what I'm saying? We don't know God's plan, but if we
Right.
pray and we ask Him what He wants us to do and be in alignment with Him, there's nothing that He won't do for us. I just
That's
Amen.
right.
yeah, with you.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's
So
right. That's right.
come on, y'all.
Yeah.
So does anybody have any questions for Brother Kent?
I have a question. Um, if you had the chance to reach brothers today, what would your message be to them about the things you've been through and about how you've come out of them? What would you share with them?
Um, in a nutshell, I'm just be all the way in a nutshell. Step up, step up. You know, cause as I went to prison, and I was I was young. I was 16. You know, I was 16 years old. They didn't send me to no juvenile camp. They didn't send me to no spot to where it was people my age. They sent me where it was thumping. And immediately when you're a child, because that's what I was, a child, you immediately start trying to find a leader, especially when you're a part of an organization or whatever. You start trying to, you know, understand leadership and adapt to leadership. So, I came in just like that, looking for a leader, looking for a big brother, looking for a father, looking for an uncle, looking for a leader, looking for a chief. And it took me years of constant getting beat upside my head, violated. It took me years of getting disciplined in various different shape, forms, of fashion for me to understand that I got to step up and be my own leader. And so what actually took me to the next level was understanding that fact that I got to stop looking for the leader and I have to become that leader.
Mhm.
So when I became that leader, it took me to another level socially, because at that point, ones are used to you being the little brother. They used to you being the nephew. They used to you being the son. They not used to you being big bro. They not used to you being being pops. You see what I'm saying? So once I took the step, well, I'm finna start being my own leader. I'm finna start making my own decisions. I'm gonna start doing what I know is right, despite whatever the leadership is saying. I'm gonna be my own leader, my own man. When I started doing that, it built a different dynamic with other people, with other guys. And I'm gonna say that like this here: age doesn't define maturity.
Right.
You got some grown ass boys out there.
Yes.
You got many of them. You got many grown boys that think they're men. You see what I'm saying? So when you have grown boys that think they men, when it come down to an actual man, what we call the alpha, when it come down to that dominant man, all these grown boys will group up. They'll group up on you. They will really group up on you, because when that alpha steps in the room, every other so-called man automatically know, oh, this dude ain't he really like that there. He really like that there. You see what I'm saying? And it creates a form of tension that takes you to a whole nother place. And that's where this generation is at right now. They don't understand the difference between being a man and a grown boy. A lot of these dudes out there are grown boys, but they
I
think,
not not to interrupt you, bro, but I
right,
oftentimes will tell people, that being a man does you're not a man because you have the male genitalia. You're not a female. You're not a woman because you have the female genitalia. Those things are what makes you a man or a woman is how you move, how you
right.
think, how you process things, how you, um, the things you want out of life, the way you move to get them. So we got a whole bunch of age. I call them of age, male and females. They're not grown ups.
Right. And the worst part about that being a grown boy is because the man is supposed to lead. So it's like the woman the woman knows this as a fact. But the dynamics has been changed because so many women has been forced to do what the man's supposed to be doing. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this creates a whole different demonstration in life and society that really ain't supposed to be there. And it starts with the man. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my message right there to the men. Step the hell up. Because once the man steps up and become that support for the woman, because the woman is the first teacher. The woman is the mother of civilization. The woman does so much, but she can only do it at her fullest capacity when a man is doing what he's supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of time, if the woman has to balance herself out at being the mother and the father, it destroys the family dynamic. So from the door, that's my message right there for every man out there, man. Step the hell up, man. Step up.
Yeah.
What do you think that we can do to encourage the men to step up? Because, like you said, we have a lot of the teens or the young adults that they're intimidating to some of the grown men. Some men just don't want to get involved, because they feel like it's they're a lot more aggressive now, the children are, and it's a lot more dangerous than what it used to be. So we have a lot of men that are just standing down. They just, how we used to be able to say you take community to raise a child, everybody would step in. Now people, due to legalities and things like that, people are just stepping back. But we can't just continue to let it go on. So a lot of the kids that are really out here don't want to be in the positions that they're in, but they don't have enough of the mentoring. So, what do you feel that we can do to encourage more men that despite of, we still have to be there, because we only as strong as our weakest link. And if we don't do it, nobody else will.
Yeah.
That's real. In my opinion, the best thing that the women can do is to just continue linking up with one another and doing what's needed to be did as a community rather than just the woman. And the reason, and let me explain what I mean by that. Women are so powerful. A lot of time women don't even understand how powerful they are because they don't have that masculine energy behind them. So in their mind, they're not as powerful as they actually are. But in reality, the woman is so powerful. The woman is really more powerful than the man because majority of everything that a man does, he does it for a woman. He look good for a woman. He try to shine for a woman. He try to get money for a woman. He get to acting a fool for basically everything that he does, unless he gay. That's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? But majority of every man, everything he does is for the attention of the woman. So even when guys go out, guys want to go to the club where the most women is at. They want to go, oh man, I want to go over here, man. It'd be a bunch of women over there, man. That's where we going. Or I want to be a part of this group over here because them sisters over there, they active over there. So it's like what the sisters have to do is destroy the lines and the boundaries that separate them from one another. Because a lot of times the sisters, they'll divide themselves. Women are very territorial as it is. You see what I'm saying? And most women are alphas. And the reason why most women are alphas is because the men are too weak. So a woman can be a weak woman, but in actuality, she's strong as hell because she's being the father, she's being the mother, she's being the big brother, she's being the teacher, she's being the preacher. So it automatically makes her stronger psychologically. So most women are automatically like almost alphas. Majority of women are automatically alphas. That is the reason why they can't get along like talking about it all the time. They clash so much. So the best thing that women can do is understand that reality right there and go past it. Because if you can't depend on the brothers to support you and be your strength, y'all gotta depend on each other.
Yeah.
I got a
Because,
question.
because every last one of y'all basically going through the same thing on different levels in different states and different places. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Go ahead, beloved.
I agree with that, but I know for the younger generation that's out here, for the most part, I have two boys myself, and I am raising them alone. Um, their father, born and raised in Chicago, he got his own story. Won't air that out, but it's a struggle. So I'm raising two teenage boys by myself, and I do stand and on the business, push through, do as much as I possibly can. And I reside in that. I'm gonna do everything that I can possibly do. And you just don't dwell on what you cannot. We're not in control of the little personalities, but there is a lack of male mentoring for our young men. For the most part, it feels like they're out here, they're just in the streets. I see videos of them just randomly shooting in neighborhoods. And at a point in time, the older generation stepped up. They would battle, we battle our own children. We get our own children and our own, like they said, our neighborhood, it was working together. Your neighbor chest had, now you know you're not supposed to have company. I'm gonna call your mama. The element of people working together regarding the youth is non-existent. It's more so I'll fight you for saying something to my kid, vice versa. Hey,
Mhm.
my child
Mhm.
was wrong and I'll address him, but I prefer that you address me instead of working it out. Is everybody is combative, everybody's fighting, the children
Mhm.
shooting, they don't care about school, drugs are fun. When we were growing up, maybe just weed, but for the most part, these kids are doing some of
Yup.
everything. I've seen the youth
Yup.
standing at gas stations like, you are not a teenager doing what you're doing. So it's gonna take more mentoring and more people, and not even just men, but women too, to step up and overseeing these kids. They it's
I-
they take a root in a lot of what's going on right now without no guidance or anything. The shootings, the carjackings. How we got a team of kids riding around the city stealing people's cars and nobody saw or heard anything?
Mm.
How your
Even if
child
you know
13 years
something,
old?
get your baby. You know, do something. That life is leading, but we don't address that. It's also taking some responsibility in how your children are out here, and it adds to the violence and element that's out here.
Right, right. It does. And see, we go through the same. We went through the same thing in prison when it come down to seeing these youngsters coming in with no guidance, no direction, and just wow, what they call it, these YNs. You know, we see it. You know, everything that go on in the world, it goes on inside the system as well. You know, it just goes on a little bit different. But one thing that I learned when it come down to men, and this is something that I have to get under control for myself, and I'm kind of afraid of it, is man, man, I'll whoop a nigga ass, man. I'm just being all the way 1,000. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that, and I ain't saying that to 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 make my put myself in the face. I just know where I come from. When you got a youngster that's like that, they really not like that. They really not like that. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't met the man that's gonna, put them in their place. And when I was a shorty, I know I was a badass. I know I was hard. I know I was a demon. But I respected my elders. If I met somebody that I felt was like that there, I respected that because I wanted to learn what it took for him to get like that. And because I wanted to be an OG. I wanted to go to be 50, 60 years old. And you know what I'm saying? So instead of me challenging them, I learned what they did to take them all of these decades and these generations. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that one thing that I learned about most of them youngsters, and it's different in the world. This is the reason why it's kind of scary to me. Cause most of them told them sticks. So you gotta approach them different. But the world that I come from, when you put them on their ass, they gonna go catch that corner with their head down and they gonna think about it. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no sticks where I come from. You feel what I'm saying? But out here in this world, these guys told me these sticks and they told me these pipes, and it's like it's hard to approach them. But on top of that, here's the next thing. They still gonna respect somebody that they know about that action.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not somebody that they just heard, not somebody that they just think or assume. If they know if they know you done went through this hill and you really about like this hill, them youngsters most of the time respect that, man. You know what I'm saying? They ain't finna just come off like, if they in a group, they might, but that kind of spooks me because I'm one of the ones, if I see something ain't right, I'm speaking on it. If I feel something ain't being did the proper way, I'm gonna act on it. And I kind of fear that because I know that these young dudes these days ain't really good with being corrected. So I don't know how that will fit because I see so many guys that's getting killed. They get out of prison and they start dealing with these youngsters and they, you know what I'm saying, they start getting touched. So I look at that and I try to guard myself because some of the stuff like for the past 10 years, like I said, I did 23 years. I did 23 years, 4 months, and 23 days. That's how much time I did in prison. So 10 years ago, I'm talking about I did over a decade then. So I had started meeting youngsters, and I'm young myself. You know what I'm saying? I had started meeting youngsters that was like, oh, because they called me lunatic inside the wall. They be like, oh, you lunatic? Be like, yeah, I'm tick. And they be like, oh, I heard of you, bro. I heard of you. And that used to spook me. They used to spook me because them youngsters will do something to you just for your name.
Ken, I was going to ask you this in reference to that, being incarcerated and us having such a high incarceration percentage with our youth now, while you're inside. See, there's a different way, and not to say that it's too late even at that time, though they may already have been, given the time to be served, but they still can be reached on the inside. So do you all generally try to mentor the kids once they're there? There is no way out when they're in there. There's no other way of fighting other than fair while they're in there. So do you all just generally reach one, teach one, though they're there, still try to encourage and show them the difference between the right and wrong, the mentoring that they didn't get in the streets?
No, and I hate that, right? Because it's like in Mississippi Department of Corrections, it didn't change. Don't get me wrong, it didn't change. But when I came to prison, it was real live gang. I'm talking about we in war, we power struggling. This was a daily. So the moment you come in, the first thing they do, they finna shake your hand, then they finna give you a knife. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it done changed a little bit, but there is no real though, because right now I just came home on a bill. I forgot the bill I forgot the name of the bill, but the bill is what gave me parole. Okay, with the bill that gave me parole, a lot of us older convicts that done did a lot of time, we done came home, which done made room for a lot of more youngsters to be locked up. So it's like leadership. The leadership now are guys just like the youngsters. They all youngsters. So there is no real mentor. You know what I'm saying? There is no real like what we used to call it back in the day. You snatch a brother up under your wing and you kind of guide him. You know what I'm saying? You guide them, you tell them the right way of going about doing this, the right way of going about doing that. That really don't happen no more. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the few. I was one of the few that was still doing it. And I caught a lot of slack in it because a lot of guys is just stuck on stupid. And I hate this. Is you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys is just stuck on stupid. And
You know what?
they
I
yeah.
heard that. I heard that inside the walls that it really now. I heard what you were doing. You know, trying to be that mentor, but it really depends on what they trying to do when they come in, because you got a lot of the YNs that come in not on the thought like, oh, I got a 2 year, 3, 4, 5 year sentence. I can really go home. They come in on the, on the BS. So what a brother had shared with me, what he did was, is if the brothers came in and they were trying to go home, he said, okay, I'm gonna stick you over here because you trying to go home. But then some of them would come in, like I said, just trying to be on the BS. Oh, okay, well, then that's where we gonna put you. We gonna put you on the BS because it don't seem like you trying to go home. I wish that they would just start period with the mentorship. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if they with the shit show or not. It's more so of a, I don't care what you on. I'm gonna try to get you where you need to be, and then if that's if you continue with the BS, then it is what it is at that point. But at least I've done my due diligence to try to move you to the right place.
See that would be great, and it would be very possible if it's like
They
a
gotta want
equal. Yeah, not only do they gotta want it because you know, like I told many guys before I came home, it's becoming too easy to say that you this and say that you that nowadays. It's becoming too easy. So it's like if we set a standard, and start telling ones, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. If you want to have a position, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I'm talking about far as you got to have a GED, or you have to be in school, or you have to you have to be in graduated. If we start setting our standards differently and standing on it from a different level, see, shit rolls downhill. It don't go up. So it's like I judge a lot of things by the leadership. So a lot of these youngsters, they'll get right if they knew they had to.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna give you a prime example. In Mississippi, they had a prison back in the days called Walnut Grove. Walnut Grove Correctional Facility. Walnut Grove was like the Ivy home or whatever. It was like a juvenile prison, like St. Charles rather. A juvenile prison that they sent all of the kids and stuff to. Okay, when you become 21, they'll send you up the road to the big spot or whatever. But it was a juvenile camp. Okay, those youngsters that was in that prison, they was like some of the strongest, the hardest, the most intelligent. But what messed it up was when they started mingling with the old dudes. When they start sending the older, they end up taking the cap off of that prison and just sending the youngsters everywhere and start sending older guys to that prison too. That was the biggest mistake they could have made. Because what started happening was the older guys started using the youngsters. They started using them to get money. They started using them to get power. They started using them to position themselves. And it's the same thing that go on out there in the world. Them youngsters don't be knowing too much of nothing. It be some old dude that then got in their ear and then set them up to get a little bit of money and just then set back and let them youngsters do their thing. And that's what's going on out there in the world. When it come down to any of them young guys that's out there doing that, man, it's somebody that's older, that's in a position of influence that can change them. But whether it's they plug or whether it's their chief or whether it's they father, whatever the case may be, it's somebody that has some form of influence that can change them. But they just don't. And 9 times out of 10, the reason why they don't is because if it's like what we call waking the dead. Why wake up the dead if I'm eating off of them?
Mm-hmm.
That what be going on a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Like the 5%ers, with the 85%, the 10%, and the 5%. All right. The 10% eat off the 85%. This
Mm-hmm.
is where they get their money. This is the way they feed their children. They keep their power by keeping that 85% deaf, dumb, and blind. And this is what's going on with us today. It's always an older brother with some influence that could change things. The thing is he gonna step up and change things?
And one thing and two things for sure, it's got to be put in place that some things have to be mandatory. uh, when you laying down the law for things. You can't just say, well, okay, you do this, you do that. And see, right now, the kids are like, well, we getting away with it anyway. We can do what we want to do. You know, there's no respect anymore when it comes to, the elders. Like you said, when you were coming up, that's what you looked to and respected, regardless of the situation. There were laws and there were restrictions when it came to the elders and mothers and sisters and stuff. Now it's like, they don't care who you are, what you represent. So, and looking at, some of the young people that's coming into the prisons right now, even them, they need to have some mandatory in order for them to go home. So if the ones that want to go home, they got to be mandatory to do whatever it is to take to do that to get themselves on the right page. You know, right now it's like, one for all, just all free out to whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to get home, do my little bit, and go back to the same thing. Mindset still the same thing. Soon as they hit the streets, mindset is still the same thing. Nothing changed. But like you said, it has to start somewhere. So if it's starting with them in the prison before they even get back out, it needs to be, like I said, something mandatory that you feel that you want to work towards coming home. The same thing that came up with you. You feel okay. Sometime down the line, you was like, "Oh, I ain't fit to worry about. I ain't going home." But when it came to your mindset that you felt knew you was going to come home, it's some things had to be mandatory that you need to change to get home. If that's what you want to do, get home. So a lot of that need to be put in place for the more than some youngsters and what's going on. I mean, you still got the hot heads out there, and no matter what you trying to say, preach to them, you always gonna have that one trying to pull the other one away. But you still got some that's gonna try to listen. Like
Right.
Ben Lee and different ones. They have programs, and they be reaching out to some of these kids and the older guys when they come home. But even then, they sign something and say it has to be mandatory or else.
That's right.
Not just coming in the program saying you come today, this week, and a couple of weeks, and now you ain't there no more. So
That's right.
it has to be a mindset thing too.
Setting that standard. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And it ain't going on in prison. Not in Mississippi Department of Corrections. I know that for a fact. You
It
know,
ain't.
yeah, it ain't. So like what you said, it has to be something that's laid down to be mandatory. But even at that call right there, You know, it's gonna create a lot
Is
of
Sid the
politics.
only one frozen?
It's gonna create a lot of politics that a lot of brothers and sisters don't really understand. You know, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what Honorable Bobby Gore told me years ago. He told me, he said, I had to separate myself from the immediate body for me to get right. You know, this was something that he told. He was like, I had to. He says, and this is something that I had to understand myself as I was doing time, because
Commercial?
you'll have individuals that's connected to you that'll hold you all the way back.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you really have to cut ties with a lot of individuals that you may not want to cut ties with, but you just gotta do it in order to make it. You know what I'm saying? That's just real, you know. So yeah, you most definitely right though, sis. Right. Right.
Okay, so now we done talked about you being behind the walls and the experience, and that you having 23 years of being there. It's a lot of history that it take years and months to go over to unravel this. But
Right.
we interested in moving forward. What's
Right.
what's the ultimate plan?
Um.
And you know what? I want to tell you this right quick before you answer that. Seeing that you was there for 23 years and you seen what was poisoning our children, what as a man can you do today to embark inside of that crumbled up system that is destroying our men?
Um. What I've learned, I'm not sure how many other states.
So it looks like his camera froze or he's froze.
That ain't froze. Okay, go ahead.
I One thing that I've learned, I'm not sure how many other states are like this, but in Mississippi, media controls a lot. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? What's out there on the airwaves, you know, when it come down to prison, the brothers in prison, one of the main things that they gonna be on is we need outside help.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, a lot of times, like Queen, just like what you was telling me earlier, you know, a lot of people just look for when their expectation of help is, can you do this for me type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what I say we could do, me personally, my idea, I'm going to start reaching out at the different tribes, the different nations, the different organizations to try to build some form of a network that I know we don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't even about it ain't even about everybody. It's
Right.
about those that want to do better. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because I know and I understand how when you make something mandatory or when you mandate something, those that don't want to do it, they will click up against you and to
Yeah.
create a form of politics that you don't really want involved. It'll create energy that you don't really need, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
moving forward. So I'm going to be reaching out at various nations, various organizations to just first establish a network, to establish just a conversation, a dialogue. That 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 conversation, that conversation alone will create a whole movement. Just the conversation. If
Mm-hmm.
you have a number, of individuals from every tribe that's just on the line discussing anything positive, because I learned this from from the old man T. Rogers. He
Mm-hmm.
was telling me, he was like, man, I'm not finna get on the phone or get online with a whole bunch of gang members talking about nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he called me back. He called me back and he was like, bro, whatever we need to do, whatever we need to do it. And what he was speaking on was, I don't even care if the feds listening, because we ain't talking about nothing but some positive stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that we talking about, is whoever want to listen, let them listen.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever want to record whatever we doing, let them record it. Whoever want to repeat whatever we saying, let them repeat it. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't talking and discussing nothing negative, nothing illegal. So I want to create that conversation. I want to create that platform for the GDs, for the BDs, for the Lords, for the Kings, for the Bloods, for the Crips. I just want, and I know I can't reach all of the leaders. I'm not trying to reach all of the leaders. That's not even, you know what I'm saying? I'm knowing that's not even finna be able to happen.
Now, you
I
say it
just
won't
want
be able to happen. Don't let me cut you off. Not interrupt you. Don't say
It won't happen.
what won't
Yeah.
happen. Say it will happen.
Yeah.
to, it will
Manifest.
happen.
It will
Manifest.
happen.
Put it
What
in
you
the
So,
put over your life will happen.
yeah.
What you
right,
put
so,
into your self-conscious will happen.
Mm-hmm.
The
right,
things
right,
about
right,
it might not
One
happen.
nation.
For
One
instance,
nation. Put it in perspective.
once you
right, you're
do
right,
something, it may not happen right when you say it, but guess what? It didn't went into your conscience, right? And
Mm-hmm.
see, we don't know how the inside of us work, but it's connected with the outside of us that shields our whole body, which is God. You hear what I'm saying? And if you
right.
speaking, he said, the things
Speak
that
it
you want to
to the
speak over your life as it were. Speak
yeah.
like it did already took place. Say, my name is Kent. I'm going to be speaking to all the head leaders in the
Yeah.
whole world.
Speak it.
Right,
Speak that.
right,
Put that down in
right,
the depth of you.
In that
And
atmosphere.
guess what? When we meet up, you will be speaking to them leaders because they will be reaching out to talk to you. You understand what I'm saying? We
That's right.
must save our children. We must save our sisters. We must save our
Man.
brothers. And we got to stop talking about what we gonna do, and we need to start doing what we gotta do.
Right.
that's right, man.
What
You
You're
we
right,
gotta
believe
man.
it
do.
to achieve it. And a lot of people like yourself, they're getting older. People are getting older, so they want, it's time out for it. A lot of people are more willing. They just don't, they won't take the initiative to do it. So by you being a little more proactive in doing it, you might initiate, even if it's just a handful. We can't save the world, but we can save a few. We can save those
That's
that
right.
want to be saved, like you said.
Yeah.
Right, that's right, and that's my initial goal. Is to reach who I can,
Yeah.
and to just start that conversation and try to keep that conversation going. Don't get me wrong. I have a strategy. I have a plan. I have all of this already situated, but I want the minds of other of various leaders from other places that can add, and you know what I'm saying, we can make it better. Because man, to not do this, I just look at it like, to not do this would be saying to hell with the youngsters.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we can't do that. So what I want to bring back is like, when we read in the book, when we see in the book of the Nation of Lords or any of those older books back in the days, everybody was pumping their fists up in the air. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and right, and that's and that's the reality that I want to bring back. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality that I want to bring back, where it's like, we actually supporting our children. We actually supporting our women, because those are two things we will never be able to prosper as a people until we start uplifting our women and supporting, uplifting our children and supporting our women. And this is something that's not going on. You know what I'm saying? So to do that, is I'm just need as much assistance as I can to network and meet other various brothers and sisters from different walks of life, from different places and things of that nature there. And we just start linking them together.
Hmm.
Linking them together, you know what I'm saying, and just keeping the conversation going. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As long as the conversation is going, we making progress, because the conversation is not being had at all right now.
Yeah.
besides us talking about it, so yeah, that's the
And we have to
plan.
uplift our kings as well too, because we do need our men, and we need to let them know more that we need them more.
That's
Mhm.
right. That's
That,
right. That's mainly what it is.
Hmm.
These guys got to know that. They have to know that. Man, y'all got to step up. You got to step up, man. You know what I'm saying? The nation is nothing without the strength of the kings.
That's
You know
what
what I'm
it is.
saying?
Hmm.
So if until they understand that, and it's gonna take somebody to keep putting that in their mind. Because right now, today, we got, don't get me wrong, we got some Malcolm X's, we got some Martin Luther Kings, we got some Garveys, we got all of those things. But we continue to find reasons to not support them completely. See, back then, it was only a handful. Now you can go on social media and find all kind of Marcus Garveys and Malcolms, and you know what I'm saying, and
yeah.
everybody not support them the way that they can. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, we have to start support our people. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of time. I seen a post the other day where somebody was speaking about this is a bogus administration. This is a bogus establishment. I'm not supporting this. And I was saying, like, you know, to not support a positive demonstration is not saying to hell with the leadership. You saying to hell with whatever the movement is that's trying to uplift the people or the homeless or the women or the whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So it's many people that I may not mess with personally. That I don't deal with dude. I don't like that dude. I don't like what they you know what I'm saying? But if they do something positive, I'm
Positive.
gonna share it. I'm gonna support it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do everything in my power to try to help it because I know the bigger issue is the kids that they helping or the community that they helping, the people that they helping. So you know, that's the message right there. That's the message.
And you being willing, Kent, and then having the social media, it's easier to reach, you know, your audience. That's half the battle won. You know, you being that great person is able to help people to do that. That you more than half the battle won right there. Just posting positive things, reaching positive people, helping them to interact with you via Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Half the battle won. It's a lot easier now. You got the marches and all that we did then, but now you can pop a lot of stuff on social media and reach people.
Yep, 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 yep. Hell yeah, that's it, Queen. That's it right
Well,
there.
I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you know that you're amongst us now, and you know we're looking forward to working with you. I'm support. I know that I am myself, and I'm sure that our sisters are behind you 110%. And whatever endeavors that you are uh, willing to accomplish in your future endeavors, we will definitely be here 110% with you.
Most
Yeah.
definitely, most definitely. That's what's up, man. I'm here for y'all in any kind of way y'all can, man. For real, man. And anybody that's a part of my leadership, that's a part of my circle, anything that I'm doing, y'all have my full support. Most definitely.
And you
Yeah.
have our support as well.
Ours as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure, for sure, for sure.
I hope
Well,
I get
brother
a chance
Ken,
to come back. I hope I get a chance to come back one day.
oh yes, yes, yes. We would love to have you back. We closing out. It's been almost an hour, ladies. Thank you, Kent. Thank you to all the viewers for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Aisha Sisters Podcast, and we will see all of you guys in the near future. Kent, much appreciation. Queen, you want to close with anything?
Um, do I want to close with anything?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I wanted to say before I get brother Brad just called in Ken, and he said welcome home, and he said that he was calling me because they finna do a party for the old man on the 22nd of February. So he gonna go look over the place, and then we could give you more information. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I just want to this is not to no individual person. This is to the audience, because my heart goes out to the brothers that's incarcerated. My heart goes out to the women that's incarcerated with babies at home, that nobody is there to take care of their children. You know, we got to get more education and more knowledge out there on what we could do to help the people on the inside, because what goes on the inside, sparrows on the outside, what causes the convulsion. And I know that much from dealing with so many people that have been incarcerated. But up in October of this year, 25, we're doing a Million Moms March. And one of the subjects that we will be pointing out is about in-wrong incarceration, just as well as violence, preventions for the youth. So we'll keep you updated on that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that you'll be joining us in that, partaking, and helping us along the way. We got to come together, because it always took a village to raise the children, and we ain't been sticking together to do what need to be done. Did you tell Monique hello and thank you? Amen. And amen, and thank you all the sisters. And Kent, we are so happy that you're home. Anybody, that's all I'm just excited. I keep on talking. I know how time is going back. Let me get on. I love y'all.
Make the dream work.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man.
Thank you. This is the Aisha Sisters Podcast. This is the Aisha Sisters production, and we will see you guys again soon. Peace and love.
Peace and love, everybody.